Hi guys, Mickey here, Hampshire Outdoors and Survival. Something a bit different today. Um, so it is the 5th of June today. The original date set for the invasion of Europe, which Eisenhower had to postpone due to the weather. He postponed it till tomorrow. Now I often sit and think about those men who had spent weeks and months training for this one day and have spent the last couple of weeks being moved around southern England quietly by night, harbouring up, staying hidden in woods along with all their equipment, tented camps, unable to speak to their families, utmost secrecy. It was an amazing thing. But the date would have been the 5th of June. Some guys would have already been on landing craft, on ships, and on vessels in very rough seas. And there was a halt for one night, one day, one night. That must have been hell for those men who were building themselves up for this to suddenly have to sit back and wait and spend yet another night wondering, preparing themselves, alone in their thoughts. Now, that would have been a tough old night. 6th of June, morning of the 6th of June. 156,000 troops were landed along a 50-mile stretch of coast, and within days that rose to 326,000 troops, 50,000 vehicles, and 100,000 tons of equipment. And on that first day, 4,000 brave individuals made the ultimate sacrifice. In the wee small hours of the 6th of June, the airborne went in and did an amazing job. Stories of places like Pegasus Bridge, Melville Battery, absolutely amazing. I mean, if you've never heard of these places, there's stories. Go and look it up, especially a young person. These were possibly your grandparents, your great grandparents, maybe even your great great grandparents. Okay, something to be proud of. That's all they'd wanted of you on these days. Just remember them and be proud of them. Things they did were amazing. I also give a thought to our foe at the time. Not all German soldiers were a Nazi. It was a conscription system. Not all had the choice. Okay? They were our enemy, and we fought them bravely. But I do spare them a thought, because it must have been terrifying. So, what more can I say other than tonight, 5th of June? If you've got a moment, spare a thought for those 326,000 men. Spare a thought for their families who wouldn't have known a thing about what was happening. And spare also a thought for all the crews, the guys that operated the landing craft, the ships, the pilots, the ground crews, the QMs, the stores, the medics, the people that weren't on the beach on the day but knew what was happening, have been building up to this, because, again, for them, the pressure must have been incredible. Okay, we often talk about the man on the front line. It's very rarely we actually give a thought to the guys that are behind the lines, keeping the cogs turning and moving the whole thing forward. It's an incredible story of human ability, ingenuity, bravery, courage. So, yeah, tomorrow morning, 6th of June, if you're up early, Go outside, have a look at that sky. Just remember, 80 years ago today, 80 years ago, there's very few of them left now. 326,000 over a few days, and 4,000 more souls fell on the first day. Right, I suppose the reason I'm doing this is for my grandchildren, my great grandchildren. If you ever get to see this, it's part of your story, it's part of your heritage. Your great great grandfather, Ronald James Knight, was a petty officer, or chief petty officer, and he operated a Higgins boat, which is a landing craft, and he ferried men from the boats to the beaches and the wounded back on D-Day. Spare a thought for him, and the same for all of you watching this. Have a think back. You probably had a relative that was there. So we liberated Europe, and I, for one, am grateful of that, because that's allowed me to enjoy a fairly peaceful and fairly enjoyable life. I've been able to visit France and walk those beaches. Okay, so I'll end it here with just a simple line, lest we forget. This is Hampshire, Outdoors and Survival. This is Mickey. Love those you do, forgive those you don't, and as always, peace and light be upon you all. Have a great day wherever you are. Mickey out.